Hello.
Then, now,
Showdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever,
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello. Welcome to episode number 17, I believe, of the TW9 Challenge Run. We're here for SmackDown for Friday the 2nd of August 2024. We're finally in August. We're almost at SummerSlam. And yeah, last week we found out the Women's World Championship match from SmackDown, the Night 1 main event, would be Dakota Kai defending the championship in a WrestleMania rematch against Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. Plus, tonight, we've got another championship match as Johnny Gargano and Neville face off for the United States Championship in our main event. Plus, the World Heavyweight Champion Swerve Scott is here to defend, or to respond even, against 2024 King of the Ring winner Xavier Woods. And we also have Ember Moon team with Baron Corbin against Aaliyah and Grayson Waller, and another match I know I announced for the show, which is, Regina Del Mondo of Queendom, Julia and Yoko, against Ariana Grace and Eva Raine of the Royal Dynasty. Without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We kick off with a really underwhelming promo segment. Why? Okay, doesn't really matter anyway. Swerve comes to the ring, the World Heavyweight Champion. And he says, I found out 2 Saturday nights ago who I'll be defending my World Heavyweight Championship against at SummerSlam. And that's the 2024 King of the Ring winner, Xavier Woods. Now, as a guy like myself, a tag team guy, came up through the ranks to rise to the top here in WWE, I sure do love seeing one of my own become world champion. Which is why, Woods, why I gave you this out. I gave you the chance to go over to Raw, stay over on Raw, and face Cody, to go over to WCW and face Adam Cole, but you ignored me on both of those occasions. And you took exception to the things I was saying to you, but I was just saying what I was saying, not out of jealousy, not out of fear that you could defeat me. I was saying it because I know you can't, Woods. I want you to live this childhood dream. I want you to become World Heavyweight Champion. It'll be great for us around the world, for the culture. But you're stupid. You masquerade like you got this PhD and make people think you're smart, but what you did at King of the Ring was so spectacularly dumb. You came out last week and poured your heart out to these people, saying that it was your childhood dream to become King of the Ring. Yeah, you know what my childhood dream was? I didn't have one. Because I didn't have dreams, I had goals. And I set off to reach them, and I smashed every single one of them as I stand here World Heavyweight Champion, one of the very top guys in this entire industry. A multicultural superstar across hip-hop and wrestling. World Champion in both. You're not quite there. I'm not quite sure you ever will be there because you're not on my level. Let's wind things back a sec, Woods. You tried to become WWE Champion last year. You couldn't beat Drew McIntyre for the life of you. I could. In his home country. Do you think a guy like Xavier Woods will be able to defeat John Cena twice? Nah. Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, Ilya Dragunov, LA Knight, you name them all. These are all people that Xavier Woods would never be able to beat. I stomped out every last one of them. So come, SummerSlam. Bring yourself. Bring all your little friends. I know you still got your best friends by your side. They'll be your little cheerleaders. And they'll have front row seats to me stomping your ass into the ground. And I'll make you just another number on my list. And then, this childhood dream, you'll watch it go up in smoke. And as you lay there in the ring, defeated, wondering where it all went wrong, you can't say I didn't warn you. You can't say you weren't told where it all went wrong when you stormed down there. You became king. And you rejected my warning. And as you sit there in the middle of the ring crying your eyes out, your best friend trying to console you as you let them down once again. You'll have no choice but to be the next person to simply acknowledge whose house this is, and it's not your house. It's not the New Day's house. It's Swerve's house. Then cut backstage. Nick Aldis is in the office when Candice LeRae comes in. And he goes, I just the woman I wanted to see. So, this whole thing in regards to this Liberty Championship back at Evolution, you took Rhea Ripley to your limit. Okay? You nearly had that title away from Rhea's grasp, but she just managed to eke you out of it. Candice goes, I don't need reminding. She goes, and now, I see you've got this match coming up at SummerSlam, I think Sasha's in it. And there's a representative from Raw, SmackDown, and ECW in that match. I'm telling you, Nick, I'm the girl for that spot. Give me another shot at that championship and I won't let it down again. No, it goes easy there. While I do agree that you have a lot of qualities and qualifications that earn you a spot as SmackDown's representative in the WWE Championship match, there is another woman on this roster who's been impressing me lately, Zelina Vega. So how about tonight I've arranged a match between you and Zelina, and the winner of that match will go on to SummerSlam to wrestle for the Liberty Championship. Candice goes, great, best of luck to Zelina, but I'm ready, Nick. I've got this, I'm not going to lose again. I'm on my A game right now. 80! Holy shit, that's a pretty good match. Aaliyah and Grayson Waller have excellent chemistry teaming together. Aaliyah scores the highest in this match because of the chemistry note. And yeah, her and Waller having excellent chemistry is great. So I can run matches like this again in the future. But yeah, Baron Corbin and Ember Moon do defeat Grayson Waller and Aaliyah 13-24. Ember Moon pins Aaliyah with a stunner because Grayson Waller again runs away from Baron Corbin. And Corbin takes him to the back, leaving Aaliyah alone in the ring, pinned by the Eclipse. 67 for Ember, 73 for Corbin, 78 for Aaliyah, 72 for Waller. And yeah, obviously the babyfaces stand tall yet again. We then cut backstage. Kayla is interviewing Johnny Gargano. Says, Johnny, tonight in our main event, you have another chance to capture that United States Championship when you battle Neville in a rematch from Payback. Now, Payback, you came up just short. What makes you think tonight's going to be any different? And Johnny goes, Kayla, I've been studying Neville ever since Payback. I've been trying to get back on that level so I can get another crack at taking that championship from him for the way he's been disrespecting everybody in his path in recent weeks. Now, Sammy and I, we went to war 2 weeks ago, and I came out on top on that night. Sammy, he's a hell of a competitor. I hope he gets back into the game soon, because this division could use a guy like him. But tonight's not about Sammy, tonight's about me. Now it's about Johnny freaking wrestling and me going out there proving to a guy like Neville, who's looked over me because, well, I'm the same size he is, but because he was trapped in a division wrestling guys like me last time he was here in the WWE, he resents guys like me. Well, newsflash, Neville. Cruiserweights are some of the best damn wrestlers on the planet. You'd know that because you are one. And so am I. And tonight, we're going to have one hell of a war for that championship, and I'm going to be the one standing tall, and I'm going to be the United States champion. And Candice walks into frame. She goes, yeah, and when Johnny wins that United States championship, I'm going to go to SummerSlam. I'm going to win that vacant Liberty championship, and we're both going to be champions here on SmackDown. And then Johnny Gargano then walks away, and we've got a match to prepare for. And then Dakota Kai scoots into frame next to Candice. She goes, hey, Candice, I hear you got a shot at the Liberty Championship coming up tonight. And she goes, yeah, I do. It's against Zelina. If I win it, I go to SummerSlam, and I can become I'm one win away from the champion. She goes, that's great, both of us, me and you, both standing here as champions. And, you can tell, Candice is sort of, looking at her, awkwardly. She goes, are you good? She goes, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm Women's World Champion. Why would I not be great? My friend's going to be Liberty Champion. Tegan and Piper, they're the Tag Team Champion. It's all great for us. And Candice's like, no, but it seems like you're rattled. I can tell, And the guy's like, no, I'm fine. And she walks off. Candice just shakes her head and goes, That girl. We then cut across Adam Pearce walking through the hallway. Baron Corbin walks over and goes, "Pearce, I'm sick and damn tired of Grayson Waller running away from me every time I want to get my hands on his scrawny little ass." And Pearce goes, "I get it, you know. He's a lot to deal with. I've been dealing with him for a while now, and Nick and I are both kind of sick of his shenanigans over here as well." And Corbin goes, "Great, so how about next week me and him finally go one-on-one? No disqualifications." Pearce goes, I'll go make that official right now, Corbin. Me and Nick, I'll go meet up with him in the office and we'll get that signed off for next week, you and Grayson Waller." So yeah, Waller and Corbin next week on SmackDown, it seems. 83 rated match. It is Candice LeRae going to SummerSlam, of course. She defeats Zelina Vega with the Lion Salt in 13:24. 86 for Candice, 75 for Zelina. 83 for the match, 80 wrestling, 78 for the crowd. And yeah, Candice LeRae picks up the win here tonight, confirming she will be against Sasha Banks and somebody from Raw in a triple threat match for the Liberty Championship at SummerSlam. Candice is celebrating, she turns around. She eats a big boot from Indy Hartwell, of all people. Sasha Banks is there as well, she's laughing at her. She orders Indy to boot Candice again, Indy does it. And then Sasha picks her up, she hits that Moneymaker finish on Candice. And yeah, she like stands tall. Like, I imagine security do sort of like come out, because I do want to make appearances like this where somebody from one brand hops over for no reason to attack somebody. I want to sort of make them feel chaotic. So like security would run out and like sort of like usher Sasha out of here, because, you know, what's this ECW woman doing jumping into SmackDown waters? But yeah, she does make the statement, the bank statement, you could say. She goes, "Hey, I'm just scouting out the competition for people who I'm going to beat at SummerSlam to become the Liberty Champion." We then get a pair of training videos for the WWE Tag Team Championship match at SummerSlam. Daniel Bryan and Pete Dunne in their dojo, you know, with Miles, Gresham, Dante, and Oni doing their drills. You know, Bryan's whipping them into shape. He's shouting at Miles can't hear him. Stuff like that. And then we get Ilya Dragunov again doing his, like, insane training. You know, he's doing press-ups with fucking sofas on his back and shit like that. And one-handed press-ups with a skipping rope and, just, you know, the Ilya Dragunov workout videos. You know, he does those. And Randy's sort of just there, like, trying to keep up. He's sort of just watching and goes, "Man, I can't do all that shit. You know, I'm too old for that shit." And Ilya goes, "It's called intensity. At SummerSlam, there's nothing that Bryan or Dunn could do to keep me down." And Randy goes, "That's what I want to hear from my tag team partner, you know. Just don't wear yourself out, kid. You know, this is a lot going on here." Quick backstage segment. Three of the Chase U girls, Morgan, Thea, and Haley. You know, or Thea and Haley are together, you know, just chatting about, you know, life, and then the topic of Aussie Open and Duke Hudson comes up. And Thea's like, "Hey, you know, Duke, he's been a bit weird as he got here, you know. I don't know what he's plotting something with those Aussie Open guys. I don't know what it is." When Morgan does walk in here, she goes, "Hey, you know, so, I was just speaking to Mr. Chase, and he said that it's a good idea tonight to try and get Chase U back on top. Obviously, we lost last week to Aussie Open, Duke and Bodie, but it's nice to get our girls back on track tonight. So how you, Thea, and Haley will be in tag team action. You know, I hit up my friends Kaya and Zeta. You know, you remember them from a couple of weeks ago when they attended the Chase U Open Day. Yeah, we're gonna get you a match tonight with them, and then we're gonna pick up victories, and we're gonna try and, you know, get Chase U back on track. We can't let this stuff with Duke and Aussie Open, you know, be too much of a distraction for everybody here." And Thea goes, "You know, that's actually great thinking. Yeah, if we just keep on winning and we become champions, then, you know, who cares about Duke and Aussie Open and all this stuff? Chase U, Chase U, Chase U." Then cut to the ring, where we see two huge guys, Magnus Svensson and Ralph Kazmaier, These are two regens. I made sure they were both like over 6'5", 300 pounds. And then Pretty Deadly's music hits, and they come out with microphones and their briefcase. And it'll go, shush, silence. You know, our next performance demands silence. Now, if you look into the ring, you'll see two very unfamiliar gentlemen. They're merely, you know, extras in this upcoming musical of Pretty Deadly Symphony. But we've been hearing for weeks how we're apparently ducking Otis and that Mr. Tall and Sexy Omos, because apparently we're scared to get into the ring with two giant men. Okay, it goes, well, we're not scared to go toe-to-toe with two giant men, because in fact, we're going to do just that right here, right now, in the Quicken Loans Arena. So I hope Otis and Omos are watching, because this is going to take a lot more than just being big to take this championship, this briefcase, off our hands, because we won this damn thing, and we're not dropping it anytime soon, especially not to two big ugly oafs who fancies themselves stallions. Yeah, we get the quick match. Pretty Deadly do beat the two big men. 3 minutes 10, Elton Prince pins Ralph Casimir. 76 for both Pretty Deadly guys. 13 for Ralph, 27 for Magnus. And yeah, then after the match, Kayla Braxton does get into the ring. And she's got the microphone. She goes up to Elton and Kit. And then Tonya Breeze takes the microphone off Kayla. She goes, what's the matter, Kayla? But too flabbergasted to see two actually hot, sexy studs pick up a victory here tonight. Because you've hitched your wagon to two big oafs in that Omos and Otis. You know, what's the deal with you and them anyway, okay? You can't be showing favoritism as a journalist. You can't be an unbiased journalist. Now interview Kit and Elton. Because that's what I was going to do. I was coming to do my job. Tony goes, oh, I don't want to hear it. Okay, I know exactly what you're trying to do here. Go over there and ask them questions like a good little interviewer before I smack you in the face. Kelly goes, well, that seems a bit silly. I'm literally here to ask them questions. Then Tony does slap Kayla Braxton in the face. And that brings out Otis and Omos. They do charge to the ring. Otis, he goes to grab a hold of Elton Prince. Kit pulls him to safety. They both scurry outside the ring. And then we see they both turn around. Brooks, jumps Omos from behind, tries to, get him. He barely budges him. And then Omos and Otis slowly turn around to Brooks Jensen as he's, quivering away in the corner. Tanya's outside the ring screaming, going, Brooks, come on, Brooks, get out of there. But then they hit whatever their double team finisher is. Maybe a double choke slam, but Otis isn't very tall. So maybe a World's Strongest Slam, Big Boot, or something like that. But yeah, they lay out Brooks Jensen. You know, Otis checks on Kayla as Omos grabs a mic. He says, you people, you wanted compensation for using my Sex Panther. Well, I say, you defend that Money in the Bank briefcase, your most valuable property, against myself and Otis at SummerSlam. Mic drop. So yeah, there's one of our kickoff matches for SummerSlam. The tag team Money in the Bank briefcase will be on the line as Pretty Deadly defend against Omos and Otis. Should be a barn burner. Should be match of the night, to be honest. The most important match of all. We then cut back to Gorilla. Ariana Grace is there. She's sort of shadow boxing as Ava Raine sort of looks at her all confused. And Ariana just turns and goes, it's called preparation, Ava. Okay, I know you're too busy being Miss Stoneface here, Miss Serious. But, you've got to get in the zone, especially when you're facing former ECW Women's World Champion tonight and her tag team partner. And then Charlotte walks into frame. And Ariana goes, Charlie, where the hell have you been? And she goes, I've been doing some calls around here. You see, last week didn't go my way. I should be standing here, the number one contender for the Women's World Championship, but I'm not, and whose fault is that, Ariana? She goes, is it mine? I'm sorry, my queen. She goes, no, it's fucking Io's. She goes, oh, right, yeah. And tonight, our queendom faces their queendom in tag team action. But they have the numbers advantage on us right now. So I've declared a little, let's call it martial law. And Ariana goes, I'm not following. And then she goes, oh, you will. Just go out there and do your job and everything will make sense eventually. And their music hits. Ava Rain just immediately just walks out. She goes, that's our music, Charlie, I've got to run. And then she leaves for the match. Gets an 84. Holy shit. Both Yoko and Julia get an 88 though, that's why I guess. But yeah, of course, Queendom do pick up the win. Julia pinning Ariana Grace with a diving crossbody, apparently. The TW special, the diving crossbody. Ariana Grace with a 70, 68 for Ava Rain. So Ariana is now outscoring Ava. That's good. She's the more interesting character anyway. 88 for both Yoko and Julia. Nice. And then after the match, Cammy gets on the mic. She goes, well. I was wondering how long it would take until we found ourselves in this position. I've got to admit, a lot quicker than even I expected. You know, there's an old saying I like to live by. It's the definition of insanity. It's about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. At WrestleMania, a major crack formed in the armor of our queendom when Io Sky was defeated for the Women's World Championship by that Trojan horse, Dakota Kai. Dakota, she had her moment. And then, when we attempted to take her moment away from her again at Payback, she came out on top that night too. So at that point, Queendom needed to regroup. Something about the formation of Queendom wasn't working. And regrouping has led us to be stronger than we've ever been before. I stand here next to Utami Hayashishita, the heir apparent and Miss Money in the Bank, future Women's World Champion. I stand here next to the inaugural ECW Women's World Champion, Julia, and Yoko Ubihara, 2/3 of the dangerous Dominion that used to run this place, now established here as threats in WWE. And I stand here next to the newest member of Queendom, our rising Golden Phoenix, Saya Kamatani. And of course, not by my side tonight, the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky, who will step back into the ring with Dakota Kai at SummerSlam. Now, Dakota, you outsmarted us. I'm not afraid to admit that. Even the greatest masterminds in the world have off nights. And your betrayal of Queendom, it did change a lot of things about the course of our group. But now we're past that. Now we're stronger than we've ever been. Now we are the ones with extra plans up our sleeve, she says, like holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. So make no bones about it, Dakota. Whether you want to admit it or not because you think that you're so great and better than Io because you beat Ember Moon at Evolution, when you step into the ring at SummerSlam, my queen will leave as the Women's World Champion. And she drops the mic. And that's when from behind, Queendom are jumped by Charlotte Flair and Carmella and Shayna Baszler. Like, jump the 3 members of Queendom that aren't Utami. And then Ariana and Ava sort of jump on Utami. So they get the numbers game. Cammy, she's obviously not a physical threat. She can't get involved. Io's not here tonight. So Shayna then lays out everybody with big knees. Carmella super kick. Charlotte with big boots. She stands tall. Then cut backstage from that to Dakota Kai. She's with Kayla. And Kayla goes, Dakota, I have to ask you, last week we found out who would be facing you off at SummerSlam for the Women's World Championship, and it's Io Sky. A woman you've had a lot of history with. So I was going to ask, what's going through your head right now? And Dakota just turns to her and she goes, Kayla Raya. And then that's when Grayson Waller storms in and goes, oi, nobody wants to hear from her, okay? You listen to me, lad, okay? Get out of our frame. Get out. Also, so I'm walking around here, right? Pissed off because Aaliyah's been hit with this dangerous, deadly move again. This clip that should be goddamn banned from use in wrestling because it's such a dangerous horror of a move. Could take my sweet Aaliyah's head off. And then I hear rumblings that Baldy Pierce around here is sanctioning a match between myself and Baron Corbin for next week's SmackDown. Lad, that ain't happening. Lad, me and my gorgeous wife, or girlfriend even, have been planning a big vacation next week. Next Friday, the 9th of August. Here SmackDown's in Orlando. And we actually plan to go spend our weekend in a nice water park over in Orlando. So unfortunately, Baron Corbin, you have to have a different time for this match because it's not been sanctioned because I'm not going to be at work next week. So, unlucky, you ball wanker. And he sort of walks out for him. Aaliyah follows him out. So yeah, currently according to Grayson Waller, him and Corbin aren't going to wrestle next week because him and Aaliyah are going to a water park for some reason because they want to, I guess, to get away from Baron Corbin. I wonder what could be happening there. Wink, wink. Then cut backstage. Charlotte is with Royal Dynasty when Carmella and Shayna walk up to him. And then Ariana sort of gets on her feet and ready to fight. She goes, relax. She goes, you know why we're here. Pay up. And Charlotte goes, relax. I would never want to piss you off, Shayna. I know we go way back. You've never really always said eye to eye. But obviously I would never want to piss you off. I understand that you're so dangerous around here. She goes, pay. Hand. Now. She goes, fine, okay. So picky and demanding. And then Ariana sort of scoots next to Carmella and she goes, I think it's so cool that you're Charlie's paid for your services to, take out Queendom, How do you manage to be a hit woman while also having such beautiful hair, You gotta teach me, what kind of shampoo do you use? And Shayna goes, no. We're not interested. I'm here to collect my debt. And she walks off. And Carmella follows Shayna off. And Ariana goes, so what was that about? Charlotte goes, like I said, martial law. Who better for martial law than a martial artist? And Ariana goes, oh, I don't get it. 77. It's actually pretty good for this. Angelo Dawkins and The Miz have a match. And Dawkins does beat him in 8-14 with a spine buster. 73 for Dawkins, 63 for The Miz. And just a nice little match to get Dawkins a win here on SmackDown. Then after the match, he does grab the mic. He goes, fam, things between myself and Carmelo Hayes, they've been going on for a little while now, and quite frankly, I'm ready to put them to an end. He has one win over me, I have one win over him. As far as I'm concerned, that makes us even. So much as he may not want to admit that he's even with me, we are. So how about it, Melo? In 2 weeks' time, you and I, we put this to bed. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Carmelo Hayes appears on the Titantron. He goes, Dawkins, you're running your mouth a whole lot around here right now. I'm saying, you think that I'm embarrassed to be even with you? No, you got lucky the first time you beat me because I was distracted by my big oaf Omar, so I didn't realize had his head in the clouds. Okay? When it was one-on-one fair and square, I beat your ass, put your ass in the dirt. But yeah, you still think we're even now? I'm miles ahead of you. I'll always be levels ahead of you. Because there's Carmelo Hayes, then there's everybody else. And you're below everybody else, Dawkins. So you want to face me? I'll make it 2 out of 3 falls. I'll make it 5 out of 9 falls. I'll sweep your ass. 2-0. 2 weeks' time, you said? I'll make sure not to miss it. Quick backstage segment. Andrade and Angel Garza and the Cyclone sort of have an interaction backstage. then Ricochet goes, man, the tag division here on SmackDown, it's really packing up. You know, apparently Ilya Dragunov and Randy Orton are now in it. You know, us and the Creeds, we went to war recently. You just beat up those Revolution guys. So as far as I can tell, we're the next in line after Randy and Ilya at those tag team championships. And Garza goes, well, there can't be two teams next in line for a title shot. There can only be one. And Bronson goes, so what I'm hearing, what you're saying is, next week, you want to taste the Cyclone. And then Andrade goes, see. So yeah, pretty simple match premise, you know. They got a big win. They've been winning. These are the two next in line for the tag team titles, you'd assume, after Randy and... I know they just got a title shot from beating the Creeds, but they are still, like, one of the best tag teams in the division. So, yeah. But, yeah, next week, the Cyclone and Andrade and Angel Garza in a tag team match. We then get a quick video. We're in Hollywood. I imagine we can do this here. We're going to announce that next year's Royal Rumble is taking place in LA. So, you know, I guess on a promotional tour for the newly announced Royal Rumble, tickets on sale now. Buster Gates, world famous, and the rest of the Revolution, you know, go walking down LA. Goes, welcome to my life, boys. Okay. So, we need to get your heads back in the game after you lost, and lost, and lost, and lost. So I thought I'd introduce you to my world. Okay, the world of world famous Buster Gates. Now, being a big time movie star is not for everybody. I mean, Nebo, you haven't exactly got the looks, and Rufus, you haven't exactly got the charm. I've got both. That's why they picked me, and they left you two behind. Now, if you see around here, you got all these stars here on this Walk of Fame. Soon my name will be amongst these. I can imagine it right now. Buster Gates, world champion wrestler and actor, Oscar winner and WWE champion at the same time. It's a great feeling. But nobody will remember you two. They'll never see Nebo Barnes' name up in lights. They'll never see Rufus Hamilton's name on the Walk of Fame. Because you haven't got that fire, that aura, as the kids say. I've got all of it. So you can live up this life of luxury with me, or you can fall behind. Now come. I need my security guards to follow me here in the streets of LA. And he sort of like walks off, and we get like an awkward look between Nebo and Rufus, like behind him, and they eventually do follow Buster. You know, the subtlety here, which I'll now say out loud, is that, you know, the Revolution, when they first debuted, they did so as a trio, and there was never a leader. I know Buster got like the singles title opportunities, only because he was the singles guy, and Rufus and Nebo were the tag guys, like when the Shield were around, and Dean Ambrose was the US champion, and Seth and Roman were the tag champs. But since Buster's come back from his filming, he's been, you know, trying to take command more, which clearly isn't sitting right with these two. 50 rated tag match. Chase U, Haley Paul, and Thea Hale do defeat the team of Kaya Saint and Zeta Steele in tag team match. No Morgan's friends from a while ago. Thea pins Kaya Saint in 6:47 with whatever her finisher. She does a Kimura in real life, but I guess not that. Oh, she has a sharpshooter. That's right, because Bret Hart taught them all how to tap Goldberg out. So yeah, she taps out Kaya Saint with a sharpshooter. 35 for Zeta Steele, 21 for Kaya Saint, 50 for Haley Paul, 54 for Thea Hale. After the match, though, Thea, Haley celebrating. Morgan and Hammer's in the ring with them. You know, the rest of Chase U also gets into the ring. When Morgan sort of goes over to Kaya and Zeta, she like talks to them. She goes, "Hey, you know, good effort. You know, you did good tonight." And then, hey, Thea and Haley walk up to Zeta and Kaya, and they offer out a handshake to them. When they accept the handshake, Zeta and Kaya even do shake the hands of Thea Hale and Haley Paul, raise their arms, and then take them out with big clotheslines. And then they sort of both turn to Morgan, and they say, Is this the crowd you run with now, huh? We may have lost tonight, but we still have a lot more to learn. Hams then tries to fight them off, as they too want to attack Hams. And the rest of Chase U sort of like get annoyed, get in their face, like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? That's when Aussie Open run out. And they get into the face of Andre Chase and Keith Lee. And Carl goes, It didn't have to be this way, Duke. We've been trying and trying and trying to get it through to your thick head. But you just won't listen. So maybe this is the only way for you to learn, is to watch your friends get attacked and assaulted. We had the options to come and listen to us, sit under our learning tree instead of this idiotic university. Look at how stupid you look in your headband and that stupid red shirt. It's not for you, Duke. We wanted to bring you along for the ride together. But your loyalty to a school you've been a part of for 2 months? Are you ready to tell them why you're on such good behaviour here at Chase U? Or is that still a little secret? And everybody sort of like looks at Duke and like, what the fuck is he on about? But alas, our learning tree will still be waiting for when you're ready. That's when Andre Chase takes over. He goes, I'm sick and tired of this right now. This has to end. You're coming out here talking all this crap about Duke. Okay, Duke's only been here for a few weeks, but he's family. Everybody in Chase U is Chase U for life. They're family. Okay? You keep talking about your learning tree, huh? What even is your learning tree? The Aussie F and sort of do laugh at each other. And Carl goes, Oh, Mr. Chase. You're so mistaken. Our learning tree isn't a what. It's a who.
I am the learning tree!
And there he is. He makes his way out. He gets into the ring. Everyone's sort of like shocked to see him. He takes the microphone off Carlin Rogers. He goes, Hi guys. Man, it's so great to be back here in WWE. Now I know it's been far too long since the gift of Jericho was bestowed upon the WWE Universe. But I thought I would stop by and do a little favor for all of you who've missed me around the world. You see, for those of you who haven't been keeping track of where I've been the last 5 years, allow me to lighten you. I've been making wrestling mainstream again. I've single-handedly brought competition to WWE the likes it's not seen in 23 years. And that's all because of me and my gratitude. You know why? Because when I was over there, I was helping raise and elevate the next generation of professional wrestlers. But I figured, why waste my time elevating professional wrestlers when I could raise WWE superstars? Sports entertainers from the ground up, built by the mold of Jericho. And now I, the great learning tree, I'm here to bestow upon my wisdom, open up the Jericho vortex here on SmackDown. And it starts with your beloved Chase University. Because you see, your school is on mighty thin ice. Because none of your students want to be by your side. They all want to come and sit under my learning tree. The sooner you learn that, kid, the better. Thanks, guys. Bye, guys. And then he leaves with Aussie Open, Kaya Saint, and Zeta Steel. So he's here. AEW let his contract expire. They weren't going to renew him. So, I thought short little return run, Hall of Fame shit, right. Plus, he's definitely the sort of character I can book. So, the learning tree, Chris Jericho, has arrived. It got great. And yeah, he's here. And we appear to have educational civil war between Chase U and the Learning Tree. But lost in all of that is a sort of veiled threat by Kyle and Rogers to Duke Hudson about something. But yeah, he's here. And then cut backstage. Cammy, she's throwing a hissy fit in the... Well, not hissy fit, actually. Just frustrated. And, like, you can see the rest of the Queen in the background frustrated, like, kicking lockers. And Cammy goes, Charlotte Flair, you're supposed to be the Queen. You're supposed to be this royal, elegant leader of the women's division here in WWE. But I just saw an act of a complete and utter coward and a sore loser. What? Because last week, Io managed to beat you in that cage match to go to SummerSlam, you're going to take it out on us? Not only take it out on us, you know you're outnumbered, you know you're outmatched by our queendom, so you've got to pay for the services of somebody else to try and take us out and jump us and get the jump on queendom, to make you even look like you stand a chance to be on the same page. Well, no matter. You want to declare martial law, you can bring martial law. We don't care what kind of war you want to bring to us, because we're going to bring the war to you. SummerSlam, there'll be no hired guns, no payments, try and bail you out of it. Just you three and my three girls. Utami, Julia, and Yoko. And a 6-woman tag team match to prove who really does rule this queendom here on SmackDown. That's if you're not a little coward. Next week, we've got a bit of a stacked lineup for SmackDown, including, maybe, Grayson Waller against Baron Corbin. Adam Pearce seemed to be of the belief he was going to get the match made official, but Grayson Waller has said that he's going to be at a water park next week with his beautiful, sexy girlfriend, Aaliyah. So, God knows if that's even going to be sanctioned. We'll have to wait and find out next week. Plus, following the attack earlier on tonight, Saya Kamatani, the newest member of Queendom, will be the one facing off of Shayna Baszler in singles action next week. And then, 2 big names on the show next week that missed this week's show. They're both coming face to face with their SummerSlam opponents. The King of the Ring winner Xavier Woods is back next week on SmackDown, and him and Swerve Scott will have their first official face to face ahead of their SummerSlam World Championship match. Plus, Io Sky will be here in Orlando, and her and Dakota Kai will go face to face on the show. Plus, moving on to SummerSlam, we do have more matches officially set for that. The first being, of course, confirmed in the main event last week that it would be Io Sky once again facing off with Dakota Kai. This time Dakota defending the championship against Io in Night 1 main event of SummerSlam in Glendale, Arizona. Plus, for the tag team Money in the Bank briefcase, an exchange for some fine quality fragrances. Omos and Otis will challenge Pretty Deadly for that briefcase at SummerSlam on the kickoff show. And we just heard about it now, and it has been made official. SummerSlam will see Queens versus Queens as Ava Raine, Ariana Grace, and Charlotte Flair of the Royal Dynasty face off against Queendom's Julia, Yoko Uehara, and Utami Hayashishita in 6-woman tag team action. We then cut back to Dakota Kai again. She's walking through the halls. And this time Piper and Tegan approach her. Piper and Tegan have sort of not been really featured in the Dakota and Candice orbit. And there's 2 reasons for that. A, they're going to be doing tag title stuff at SummerSlam. And B, I wanted just a couple of weeks to establish that, while all 4 are friends, it's that Candice and Dakota bond that is, like, the strongest of them all. But Piper and Tegan do approach Dakota now, like, hey, I can't help but notice, SummerSlam. We're running that back, are we? Dakota goes, seems so. Tegan goes, listen, I know we're busy with tag team championship stuff right now. Dakota goes, it's fine. I don't need your help. I'm not asking for your help. To be honest, I just want to move on from Io. At SummerSlam, I'm going to do that. And if you don't want to be there, if you already want to move on and do your own thing, I get it. I don't need you to keep, shadowing me. Good luck with your championship defense against Becky and whoever. but I need to do this by myself. And she walks off. Piper says, well, you know, what's the matter with her? 97 rated main event. How the fuck has that happened? Gargano got 80, Neville got 91, Wrestling got 86, and the crowd got 80, but somehow the statement got 97. Okay, sure. And yeah, it goes 16-21. It's a big, long main event, but of course, I don't think the result was ever really in doubt. The bastard does defeat Johnny Gargano once again with a red arrow in 16-21 to make defense number 6 of the US title. And yeah, he ends the show standing tall, still United States champion. He takes the microphone. He goes, was it ever really gonna be any different to that? I told you, Johnny, you're not on my level. You're a mere cockroach that I've already squished that came back for a second outing. Nobody that stepped to me is on my level. And if this is the competition I'm going to be facing as the champion, I'm going to reign as the king of the United States forever. And he gets on like the top rope, like bottom left turnbuckle. He gets on there, he starts screaming and goes, take a look at your king, United States, because this face is going to be attached to this championship for a long, long time. He gets off the turnbuckle, turns around, and his head's booted off by Sami Zayn to a huge pop. And Sami gets all fired up. He starts smacking the ropes, the crowd's going ballistic, going, Sami, Sami, Sami. He takes the microphone that Neville dropped. And he goes, there's nobody on your level, huh? I say that's not true. Because you may have taken a victory over me back at Money in the Bank. But let me remind you for one goddamn second who I am. I am the underdog. I am the heart of this damned company. My name is Sami Zayn. And I'm the next United States champion. Mike slammed down. Let's go. Sami celebrates. Or just not celebrates, but just like gets all fired up. Crowd's all by his side singing his song. And that's how he go off the air. 86. Pretty good rated show. SummerSlam's coming along nicely. The learning tree is here. And yeah. I'll see you across the pond for Velocity, which will feature the WWE Speed Championship final between Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans. Velocity kicks off with a pretty fun 6-man tag team match. It's Charlie Dempsey, Warren Seaver, and Uriah Connors. This world's version of the No Quarter Catch crew in NXT, with Tavion Heights, who obviously isn't a cruiserweight, against Santos, Rush, and Jorge. And they pick up the win. Rush pinning Uriah Connors with the Rush driver in 14:49. 31 for Uriah, 50 for Warren, 48 for Charlie Dempsey, 75 for Jorge, 83 for Rush, and 69 for Santos Escobar. After the match, out come Dante Rios, Oni Lorcan, and Jonathan Gresham, and they've got mics. Well, Oni's probably the speaker here, and he goes, "Listen here, you son of a bitches. You want to take shots at Dragon's Dojo. You want to try and become the Trio champions again. Now you're all back together, all healthy. Let it be known, you only beat us at WrestleMania because we had a weak link. Gresham has now filled that weak link, and we're going to kick your ass and throw him up at SummerSlam." So yeah, there's our Trios title match set for SummerSlam. It's a variation on the same one we had at WrestleMania, with no Gulak, but this time with Jonathan Gresham in it. But yeah, they never got a rematch for their belts that they were stripped of because Rush got quote-unquote injured, aka I had to have a punishment to vacate a belt. And yeah, Dragon's Dojo, LA Extreme, really the two, focal trios of the Trios division. I promise I have more, in my brain that I'm cooking up that I'll start to feature more, because the Trios division at the minute is just, sticking people together. They win a match, they get a title shot, they lose, and we move on to the next, mainly. These are really the only two main cruiserweight trios I have, but I am working on getting more going. I want to actually try and build a mini division here. Obviously, it will never be huge because it is, you know, it's a B show, but I do want at least like 5 or 6 teams in it. 70 rated match. Charlie Ryland, Danger Zone, defeats Anthony Nese with a Rage Face Jam. 70 for Danger Zone, 57 for Anthony Nese. See, to pick up a nice little win because he is, you know, one of my boys. All my regens are my beloved babies, and I will do my best to look after them, but also not push them to the moon because I don't know if pushing OCs... I still don't know if pushing OCs annoys people. But yes, Danger Zone does pick up the win over Anthony Nese, who is fine in his role now. Like, he had his run. The thing about Anthony Nese is, like, he's a perfectly solid now, like, utility guy for Velocity. He had his, like, run. That ended. There was nothing really else for him to do. You know, he's still Anthony Nese of the Nese business at heart, but he's a beloved, like, jobber now. 71. Hideo Itami and Roderick Strong, 2 old men, doing a nice little slow, technical cruiserweight match here. And Hideo does pick up the win with the Go to Sleep in 15-34. 60 for Hideo, 68 for Roderick Strong. I do believe I debuted Hideo Itami on a Velocity like a couple of weeks. It might have literally been the last Velocity of TW 2020. And I sort of just dropped him. That's because plans had changed in my head and I went with Cedric Alexander instead. But yeah, just a reminder that I did debut him and he is here. Hideo does knock out Roderick Strong of a Go to Sleep. Roddy is another one who, you know, has very much had his time and is he's got a lot of psychology, so he's an NXT working people, and he's definitely a very handy, you know, good hand to have around for this division. Our main event, we're main eventing with a speed match here tonight. It's Javon Evans, it's Cedric Alexander, the Cruiserweight Classic versus the Cruiserweight Future, to determine the inaugural WWE Speed Champion. And in 4 minutes and 51, you know, because it's speed, Axiom distracts Cedric Alexander, and Javon Evans becomes the inaugural WWE Speed Champion, pinning Cedric Alexander. So at the age of just, 20? Javon Evans is probably the youngest singles champion in WWE history. 61 for Javon Evans, 80 for Cedric Alexander. And yeah, shows off the air. Axiom gets to the ring, he raises Javon's hand up high. The 2 champions of this brand, standing tall, 2 singles champions of this brand, standing tall. Cedric on the ramp, he's looking up, pissed at Axiom. But yeah, big win for Javon Evans, the inaugural WWE Speed Champion. 69 rated show, nice. Yeah, what matters more is what you thought of the show, mainly of SmackDown. Do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for Raw. See you then.